Hey, welcome to Davita's Stamp and Spot. I know you're used to seeing my face first, but I'm still having some lighting issues. And if I tried to show you my face right now, there would be all kinds of stuff in the way. So tonight we're just going to go with projects. I promise it's still me. All right, let me switch here. All right, so if you're watching, give me a comment. Let me know that you're on and watching. All right, so if you're watching, give me a comment. Let me know that you're on. All right. Technical issues there. All right, we should be up and going now. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. So at class last week for my Technique and Fun Fold for July, we made this awesome lattice card. It was fun to show them how. We learned that using dies and adhesive sheets and running the paper through after you've embossed is not a good idea, or cut them out, because then they stick really well to the adhesive sheets. And we had to recut things because it was just not working right, which was frustrating. Sorry, I'm looking at technology here. And then I was telling the ladies in my accountability group, I showed them the card that I made, and one of them said, well, have you made the Lattice Easel card? And I said, no. So I played with that today. This is the Lattice Easel card. So let me show you. It's like this. Then you open it up like this, and then it stands up. So you have your easel. Isn't that cool? So, of course, I had to just play with it today. So I'm going to first show you how to do this card, and then show you this one. And I've got several different designs that I'm excited to share with you. All right, so we're going to start with the paper trimmer. And for this one, I'm going to use some bubble bath paper. I am not a pink person, but I absolutely love this pink paper. Just love it. All right, so now this one, we're doing the lattice card, okay? And I'm going to use this in hopes that maybe you can see a little bit better instead of just using white. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my paper that I cut it right. So I am going to go, I'm going to have to go up here so you can see it. So I'm going to cut at a 1/2 inch. Can you see that? That light's right in the way, isn't it? If I can. I hate that my lighting system broke. We'll try that maybe. Yeah. Thought I had it all set up and now it's missing. All right, so you're going to need 5 of these 1/2 inch pieces. So I'm using, it's the second long line here, and I'm going to cut 5. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to cut 3/8. And the way I explained it to the ladies on Thursday and Fridays, I went to a 1/2 inch. And then if I'm looking at the 1 inch side, I'm going to go back to a 1/16 and then an 1/8. So it's the second line back. And Diana, I know I need to get your awesome ruler on here so that I don't have to do it this way. And it's on my to-do list this week, so hopefully I'll get that done. All right, so 2 of these and 5 of these, all right? Now I learned this trick from watching some videos today. This is 4 1/4 by 11, so it's a regular sheet. I'm going to score it at 5 1/2, and I just realized I cut this like the other one. So what I did in class is we scored it here, and then we just started cutting off the front end so that we cut up these pieces, okay? I'm going to have to repeat. I was laughing. I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about, well, be real, make mistakes, tell them what you do wrong. And I thought, I'm really good at that. I'm always showing you the mistakes, the things I do wrong. 2, 3. What's neat about this is that you can make this whole card 4 and 5 with 1/2 sheet of paper, because you're cutting it off the very front here, which makes it very economical, if you ask me. You know me, I don't like to waste paper. So there's my 3/8. No, that didn't look right. All right, there we go. All right, so now you have your front. So let me show you how I created this one. So what we did at class the other night was we took it like this and we put washi tape down here. But I learned something better today, so I'm going to show you that. So even if you were at class on Thursday and Friday, I think you're going to like this way even better. So I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm going to go in about 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch. I'm going to lay my strip down like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now you'll notice I'm putting the adhesive up so that we are going to glue the strips on here. Now I'm going to show you this way, and then the other sample that I'm going to show you, if for those of you that I call actual factuals, you know, you have to have everything exactly right. You're going to love the other layout because it helps you do it very, very evenly and nicely. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this strip down at the very bottom so that it lines up with the back. Okay. All right. Then we're going to just space these out. I had to laugh. The ladies were cute the other in class. Oh, look at that, how close I was. They said, well, we'll just use yours and that's easier. And it was, because then you had kind of had your spacing figured out. Now, the neat thing is you can do this with white cardstock. You can do it with colored. I'm doing it here with colored, hopefully. Oh, it's not showing up very well, is it? Let's see if it does better if it's on the dark. Yep, there we go. So I'm using my design from class. And this is going to be your basic layout. So now we've got strips like that. And then one of the things that I learned with the other video today is doing a double with the strips that go down so that you have a nice sturdy base to hold your pieces in place. So we're going to take this and do it just on top. And this is your basic lattice card. Okay. Like I said, this design makes it where you only have one piece of paper because you cut all the pieces off the top. We had such a challenge at class, especially on Thursday. Lois, I see you're watching. You were here. I thought I was so smart the way I cut out all the flowers for you and put the adhesive sheet on the back. And then we couldn't get them apart because I'd run them through the die cut machine after they had been cut out, and it just made them stick together so well that we could not get them apart. All right, and I got that one real quick. All right, so there you go. So there's your lattice design, okay? And then like on this one, I use greenery and flowers from the Dainty Dainty Delight, the dies. So I use this one here, and then I use some of the flowers. And then I use the double circle, or I'm sorry, double oval punch for my greeting. And then I just pulled some designer series paper to put back here so that when you saw through the lattice, you saw the greenery. Okay, so that's that design. Now, let me show you the new and improved one that I learned today. All right, so again, we're going to start with a strip that is 4 1/4 by 11. But this time, we are going to score this piece at some very unique marks, okay? And if you'd like to have these, email me, comment below, and I will send these to you. I was going to write it on here and I forgot. So we're going to go at 2 3/8. So I went 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go over to 7 7/8, 8 1/2, 9 1/8, 9 3/4, and 10 3/8. I have to tell you, a few years ago, doing these eighths of things would have driven me crazy. I am so thankful that I've progressed in my numbers, and this is much easier. So thank you to those that are commenting. Cindy, yes, I'll see you tomorrow evening. We're hoping some more people join us for creativity or create with me, my free event tomorrow night. All right, so we've turned it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to score on this last flap. Okay, so you're not going to go any farther than that. I'm going to score at 3/4 down to that and at 3 1/2. So it makes this kind of funny grid. Let's see if you can see it there. I don't know what I'm going to do about my lights. That's really bothering me. And I know it looks really weird. It's going to come in very handy, and we're going to cover it all up. So you're not going to see it after a while, after we get done anyway. All right. So now what I did was I cut those strips just like before, the 4 1/2 by 1/2 inch, and I have 5 of those. And then I did 3/8, and these I cut to 3 1/2 because they don't need to be quite as long, and we're not cutting off the front. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take this piece. Oh, sorry. First thing we're going to do is score it so that all the lined side is over here, and this is our short side. This is going to be the top of the card, just like the lattice one before. I'm going to go ahead and burnish those. Now, I have to tell you about my bone folder today. Boy, did I do something silly. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take the 3/8 strip and we are going to attach it just inside that 3/4 line. We're going to do just like we did on the other card. We're going to put adhesive on the top. You could use your tear tape. You could use your stamp and seal. You can use glue. Now see this little part here sticks over. You can't see that very well. Let's see if I can show you. But I'm using those score lines to help me guide where I'm going to put my pieces. For those of you that are what I call actual factuals, this is awesome because it gives you lines. So we lined it up just inside that 3/4 inch. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we're going to put it where it was at 3 1/2, just on the inside there. And I'm keeping my scorer out because we're going to use it to help us line some things up. All right, so now we're going to bring it over here to the corner. If I do it on this, if it looks. That didn't show up very well. I should have done, the lady I watched, Terry Gaines, she drew with a marker these score lines. So I don't know if you can see those score lines. So we're just inside on both of those. Now we're going to take the 1/2-inch strips and we're going to line them up so they are at the bottom. So we're going to start at the bottom just like we did here. Make sure it's nice and even. And I'm going to go to the next score line and I'm going to line it up so it's just underneath that score line. You can see what I'm doing here, can't you? Then we're going to go to the next score line. Line it up. And then the next score line, I'm skipping one here because I want to make sure I space this out the way. I always worry that I measured something off. Okay, that's going to line up nicely. And then we're going to take the last one and put it right in between those two. And it's lining up on that score line. Isn't that cool? So look at that. So now it's like this and this and this. All right. Now, since we had that glue and you guys noticed I didn't worry about getting excess anywhere, we're going to put this on the top of it so that it covers it up. So we're going to line it up at the bottom, make sure it's right over that strip. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. It's so dark in here. The crib for Kason is also in my stamp room, and he likes a dark room. So we've put up a really dark window, or blanket over the window, and it works great for his nap, but it makes my room so dark. And the last 2 times I've taken it down, the next day he comes over and takes a nap here. And we have to put it back up. So I guess if I want him to come over, I should take it down, right? Because then he'll come over. All right, so there's our base. And now you're thinking, but we have all those score lines. That's okay, we're going to cover them up. So when you do this, you want to make sure that one of your pieces is the same color as your base. You're going to cut 3 pieces. So I did one in white, one in berry burst, and one in lemon lolly. They're all the same size. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the one that matches, and it is going to go on the inside here. But I don't know if you can see, I embossed this. So I'm going to show you very quickly how I did that. No, I'm not. My embossing machine is out in the other room. Hang on, I'll be right back. For those of you that have been at my house, you know I'm dealing with a leg issue right now that requires me to keep my foot up and ice quite a bit. And I cannot do that here in my office. So I've been out stamping in my kitchen. I told Kent today I'm so tired of working out there because I keep running back and forth between the office and there because I always find something else I want to take out there. There's something else I need. All right, so we're going to take the die machine. We are going to put the front of this in the die machine, and I'm using this new one called exposed brick, and I'm going to place it in there so that it is even with the pattern. And the nice thing is it's a real bumpy, random pattern, so I don't have to worry about it being perfectly straight, which is good for me because I struggle with getting things straight. All right, so we're going to run that through. You don't have to put the texture on it. I just thought it added neat additional texture. So as you can see now, my lattice has texture. All right, now back where we were. So this is going to go over the top here because this is going to create my easel base. Okay. All right. So when I watched Terry today, she suggested using the thick paper. So you can do that for your base and for this piece, or you can use your regular. The thick is going to give you a little bit sturdier card. All right, so this piece, when you put it on, you need to make sure that your card, that bottom flap is still going to fold nicely, okay? So we're going to put that there. Now to decide what to put here. So I chose for the top this time to use the Sending and Sunshine to brighten your day. If you're on my team, you saw a Facebook page post earlier today. If you're not on my team, you will see it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is Send or Brighten a Lonely Person's Day or something along those lines. So I challenged my team, and I'm challenging all of you to send a card just because to someone tomorrow. So I thought this would be a fun one. Actually, I lied. This is not one I'm going to use for tomorrow. This one I decided I wanted a birthday card. So this one I taught Sending Sunshine to Brighten Your Day, which would work for sending to someone that's lonely. But the rest of my card's going to make it birthday. All right. So I'm going to put this down here. So that's my top part. So what do you think? Shall I put the yellow behind there or the berry burst? What do you guys think? Comment in the chat below. Tell me which one you think looks best. And I'm going to go ahead and build my flower here on the front. Now you could use your adhesive sheets. And like I said, the adhesive sheets gave us a little grief the other night. Poor Rosie and Lois. The card making event took much longer than it should have because of what I thought was going to help actually made it worse. I love the Sending stamp set, Sending Smiles, because these flowers I think are just so pretty. So I use the Berry Burst and the Lemon Lolly. I'm kind of hooked on Lemon Lolly. And that's another color that normally yellow is not one of my go-tos. All right, so I stamped these in the Berry Burst, and then I did the Lemon Lolly middle. All right, and I'm going to go just kind of like that for that one. So there's my front. All right, so what are you thinking? Are we going to, oh, I have two Berry Bursts. Anybody else have an opinion there? So for this, for the piece that's going to hold the easel in place, I decided to use the Happy Birthday from, I believe that's from Charming Sentiments. And then I used some dots from the Irresistible Blooms. So I mixed and matched quite a bit today. So this is going to go, oops, you can't see that. Forget when these cards are long like that. It's going to go here. And you need to make sure that whenever you're doing an easel card, that you make sure your base that is going to support the easel part is raised up. So you have some good foundation there for the card to rest on. So I'm going to use some dimensionals. I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, and we were talking about how we use the edges on all of our dimensionals because we don't waste anything. As you can see, I just cut little pieces there. All right, so this is going to go right here. Sorry, guys, I usually try to be done in 20 minutes or so, but showing two cards designs taking a little longer tonight. All right, so we're going to put the Happy Birthday right there, and then this will rest against it. To kind of do it at a side so you can see that. So it's like that. You get that. Now, anytime this doesn't fold nice, make sure you use your bone folder, and it's going to help place everything in place. All right, well, I got 2 berry bursts, so we will go with berry burst. It is going to cover up all those score lines that we created so that nobody's going to know that's there. It also helps create a nice firm base because we have 3 layers of paper. All right, so like that. So as I was doing this and I was watching online, I got to thinking, you know what? If we put this here and only put adhesive on 3 sides, this makes the perfect gift card holder. So we are only going to adhere 3 sides so that this could be a gift card holder for someone. You're going to place this one just a little bit above the score line. Okay. And you make sure this folds up nicely and that folds down nicely. Okay. So our gift card could go in there. I left this part open so that you could write a greeting, or you could stamp another greeting in there. So then if you're getting it ready, this is going to go like this and that. When they open it, hopefully they're crafty enough to realize it goes like that. Isn't that fun? All right, so let me show you what else I made. So that's my birthday one. This was the first one I made today. I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. It is using the Irresistible Blooms. That's part of the online exclusive. And I used Flirty Flamingo and soft sea foam. And it stands up, so it looks like that. This one here I didn't emboss. I just kept it simple. Then I thought, well, this is the card I'm going to use to send to someone just for the fun of it tomorrow. So I use the sending, and the paper behind is the birthday bright and beautiful paper, the card to say hello. Looks familiar, doesn't it? And then it says, love you, mean it. And then again, that's going to be an easel card. So then I thought, okay, let's try different colors. So we did this one in the Lemon Lolly. And this fun design is from the Irresistible Blooms online. And look how fun that is to make it look like those flowers are on a vine. And then same thing here. This one, I want to encourage someone that's dealing with some health issues. So I stood it up like this. So it'll say, you are in my prayers, and under his wings, you will find refuge. And last but not least, I wanted a thank you card. So here it says, I really appreciate you. This is the bubble bath, fresh freesia. And then I actually used the parakeet party for the green like that. It opens up and says, thanks. So you can make the easel card, which I just think is really fun, or you can make the straight lattice card like this. Either one, I think, makes a great card. So let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Oh, I forgot to tell you my oops story. So someone had told me not too long ago that if you have too much ink on your ink pad, to take your bone folder and then pull some of the, like this, and pull some of the ink away. Well, that's a great idea because then it moves the ink. So if you have too much ink on your ink pad, like I do way too often when I re-ink, but you need to go wash it off right away. I let mine sit there and now my bone folder has nice berry burst on it. So if you do that, where you pull some of the ink off, make sure you go wash it off right away. All right, so here's my cards. Get all this extra stuff out of the way. Do you like the easel card or the lattice card or the lattice easel? And I'm going to lay out here my 6 designs that I created. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have time tomorrow night from 6 to 9 or Saturday from 9 to 12, I'm having Create With Me. Come to my place. You can use my stamps, my inks, my tools, my dies, my punches, and just craft with me. Cindy is on, and I know she's planning on coming tomorrow. She came last month. We had a great time, but we'd love to have some more of you join us. And then Saturday is from 9 to noon, the same thing. Come, you can buy a kit from me if you want a kit, or you can just pick a design and craft. So hope you enjoyed these designs, and I hope I see you this week. Have a great week, and please let me know which card you like the best. Thanks.